Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of First Impressions on the Scratch a Track podcast presented by The Dude and Grim Show and co-produced by Mr. IVEST. I am The Dude.
And I am Grim. And today we are going to give our first impressions on Harmonizer by Ty Segall. Now, dude, this came out in 2021 and I am a Ty Segall fan. And here's the other part. I actually listened to this a lot when it came out. So the fact that we're getting to first impressions now is kind of on me. I probably should have pushed for this because I knew it came out. I listened to it. That's 2. And I really liked it. And that's 3. So for you, it's more of a first. Yeah, basically. So for you, it's probably more of a first impression. For me, it's probably like a, I don't know, 15 to 20th impression.
Okay.
But now I was a Ty Segall fan before this.
I can say for myself, I really have never listened to Mr. Ty Segall.
Dude, the guy's pretty trippy. So he's one of these people who did, in a lot of ways, what I always wanted to do is basically like just a self-made artist. I mean, he wrote, recorded, produced his own albums for a long time. In fact, the one that we're talking about today is number 13.
13. Dude,
that he's put out.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And I think they even said that from this album to his previous one was actually the longest stretch in his career between albums. And I don't even know if it was 2 full years.
Dude, what was the previous one?
First Taste, I believe.
Oh, First Taste. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was one because he did one between my favorite albums. Yeah. Now, this is my favorite Ty Segall album that I have. Okay. And this is called Emotional Mugger. And that is my favorite album of his that I've listened to. I think it sounds like nothing else that I've ever heard. And one of the reasons I liked Harmonizer so much is I felt like it kind of got back to that sound. Like it's just, it's really rhythmic and super fuzzy. And it's just,
well, that's the thing that, stood out to me first. Having never really listened to him, I was kind of like, okay, what's this going to be like? And I think you just said you're about listen 15 or so. The first time I put it on, I was like, okay, I would listen to this again. And I did. And probably it was only, I think today I actually listened to it all the way through for the 3rd time. And that's when it really, I really liked it. Like it really liked it, man.
And that's the thing. Like, he kind of came out of this like garage rock resurgence where he recorded like a lot of his early stuff is very lo-fi, self-produced, but it's got this bit of soul. And what I think is interesting about him as a musician is that on this album, with the exception of the vocals that his wife provided in the track Feel Good, I think he did everything, and that's been his MO for most of his stuff. Now, he's also in a band that I really like called Fuzz. And in the band, it actually makes a whole lot of sense. But in the band Fuzz, he doesn't even play guitar, dude. He plays drums and sings.
Dude, that's cool.
And so I think that's so cool that you have someone that's that versatile that can be a legit drum player and sing in a band. And
Dave Grohl, man,
Yeah, and then he can also play guitar really well, and he puts out albums that you just, I don't know, to me I gravitate toward.
Yeah. It was interesting just doing a little research and stuff on the album. And again, having not listened to a lot of his previous stuff. The quote that stuck out to me that I read was, he was like, it was after First Taste came out. And he said, I don't think I can write songs on guitar anymore, because I'm just tapped out. He's like, I've hit my maximum guitar style.
And that's after 13 albums, I think that's fair.
Yeah. And, well, it's one of those things that, if you put that much work out, and not that I'm going to use this example, and not that they put out this many albums, but I remember when we were doing our research for OK Go's Of the Blue Color of the Sky, the lead singer Damien, he said, when he was sitting down to write songs for that album, he was having a really tough time with it because he's like, I was playing these songs and he was like, I felt like I was just almost like trying to sound like myself and trying to, almost not copying yourself, but he felt, his tips and tricks just kind of weren't working for his process.
It kind of had it kind of gets you to that saying of how am I not myself?
Mm-hmm.
How am I not myself?
How am I not myself? How am I not myself? Yeah. Just keep going with that.
But I get that. I mean, you can only do so many variations of riffs and style. And the thing is, people kind of have these things that they fall into. And that's them one things. Thing them things. And that's one thing I would notice with him. And granted, like I held up the album. I mean, I love that album, Emotional Mugger. That is just like, it is a sound like nothing else. And this album still kind of embodies that feel, but it's different. And that's what I really like about it, because I love the fact that shit on both these albums sounds like a dot matrix printer, and it's fuzzy and it's, You want to know what it reminded me? Like, I'm going to say this, the hybrid that I felt, two bands that I felt got together and had a baby that this came out with. So the first part is just kind of like the sound of it, and kind of the synth and the dot matrix and that, kind of some newer 9 Inch Nails. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, and what's the other part? But
mixed in a sense with Little King Gizzard, actually.
Dude, I could see that.
If you put them together, I just feel like there's some crossover elements. So he certainly doesn't sound like Trent Reznor, but I feel like it has that kind of computer machine digital kind of crunch and quality, and that fuzz, and there's all these different layers of sort of kind of synth sounds and stuff that Trent Reznor just loves to mess around with.
But there's still this humanness of it that I like. And so I got to ask you, are there any tracks that stood out to you, and if so, why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there was a couple. So I think I guess technically it's the second track, but the song Whisper. To me, and this, it really made sense after I read that quote about just kind of being tapped out on the guitar. It had such a disjointed sound to it, and the electric guitar in the song acts more as an accent than kind of just keeping the rhythm. It's like it just throws in these little jabs here and there.
I know.
And so I thought that was pretty cool. Dude, the self-titled track, Harmonizer. All right, dude, the intro to that, listen to the intro to that, and then listen to the intro to U2's Numb. And dude, it's pretty great, man.
Oh, interesting.
I just felt like,
I got to check that out.
Dude, I will say, and I went back and I just kind of like listened to Numb, and I'm like, man, I wish U2 still made music like this.
Oh,
like, dude, yeah. First of all, that music video is badass. But second of all, dude, I just like that song a lot. I don't know, there's something weird about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's interesting.
And then the song, song Pictures. It has this weird middle section in it that sounds like kind of the ending of a Beck song where it gets all weird.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, man, those are kind of, the ones that stood out to me. But dude, overall, I really liked it. And I will say, if people do like kind of, I don't know if I'd say like industrial, but maybe it has an industrial feel to it.
It kind of does a little bit. I have to say.
Yeah. Like a modern day industrial. How
about that? I mean, with that, take that opportunity, if you would, to go ahead because we would love to hear your comments below about this album if you're a Ty Segall fan. If not,
check it out, see what it's about.
Especially for me as being one, I would like to hear what people think about this, because I thought the intro track Learning is pretty trippy, because to me it's different than a lot of stuff he's done. But dude, Whisper is a good song, but where Whisper really picks up for me is there's like 49 seconds left, and it gets into this totally different groove that's just more like Pink Floyd-ish, and it just drives.
Potential.
And he's not using the guitar to play some big, heavy, sweet solo. It's just like you said, like these little jabs where he's like, just pounding on stuff. And it makes these rhythmic jabs that I think is something different. And the other one that really caught my ear, two more, I guess. One is Waxman. And dude,
okay.
I doubt this is a band that you listen to, but if any of the fans out there have ever listened, and please again, comment below with that. But if anyone's ever listened to the band Electric Wizard, I feel like the intro to Waxman sounds like an Electric Wizard song. They are one of the heaviest bands I've ever heard. It's like if Black Sabbath was 100 times more. I mean, they're just so like.
Is it like a Cannibal Corpse type thing, or?
Yeah, but not of that speed. It's not fast. It's really slow, but it's that kind of vibe for sure.
It's like we're gonna kill and disembowel you slowly. That okay.
So, anyways,
sounds like a good listen.
Yeah, it is a good listen. I do. There's some great Electric Wizard stuff out there.
King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard and Electric Wizard and
yeah.
They need to go on tour.
And Trent Reznor.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up here on First Impressions. Check out Ty Segall.
Segall. Yeah.
Segall. Harmonizer. And let us know what you think below. If there's another album that you like of his, let us know what that would be. And maybe we'll even give that a proper scratch. Who knows?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Cool. The Dude and Grim.
It's time to go on the Dude and Grim Show.
Scratch a Track is produced by the Dude and Grim. Additional music provided by More. That's ... MORE in the Tims. TIMNZ. Copyright 2022. The Dude and Grim Show.